This interview by Peter Hahne is absolutely explosive. What happened in Baden-Württemberg is something you just have to see. I will talk very little in this video, and I would say let's roll the clip. It's intense.
Are Germans masochistic? Do Germans somehow like punishment? That's a question I'm asking myself now after the Baden-Württemberg election.
This is the situation in Baden-Württemberg, which really explains it perfectly. And now let's listen to Peter Hahne, and I'm telling you, this is going really viral.
Well, I can even say from my own experience, wherever I appeared, I spoke in front of about 10,500 people. I once added it up, live in the last few weeks. These weren't party events. It was always craftsmen, small business owners, or Monday demonstrators, or something like that. I noticed how they suddenly perked up. And yes, we didn't know any of that, what you're telling us now. And then I noticed now the highest alternative for Germany result is where I spoke, namely in the former constituency of Volker Kauder, Tuttlingen. The alternative for Germany got over 30% there. I didn't campaign for the alternative for Germany. I just warned against the Christian Democratic Union and the Greens. Just to say, dear friends, these are the facts, and think about what you want. But unfortunately, it's true. It's a kind of masochism. It's also due to the information. That means you just have to see who reads the regular newspapers, who has watched Südwestrundfunk or Zweites Deutsches Fernsehen. They've been misled. People don't even know that.
And here again, a big request to you all. I know you guys are great, but so that we can reach more and more people, please leave me a like and a subscription so that we can show these videos to many more people before a second Baden-Württemberg happens again. I'll be completely honest, I don't want any more green-black state governments. And when we go to North Rhine-Westphalia next year, then we really urgently need to tear down the firewall in these states as well.
Stuttgart, a second Detroit. I have proven that with numbers and so on, that it's all just a facade. There's nothing behind it anymore. There are some who see it even more sharply than I do and say, the situation in Germany, but especially in Baden-Württemberg, this beautiful, large industrial state, is like 1945. The buildings may all still be standing, but nothing is happening behind them anymore.
I'm still one of those who clearly say, if we don't do anything now, our economy will go down the drain. We've already seen it with the nuclear power plants. If we don't all stick together now, we soon won't recognize this country anymore. That's why, please, talk to the people out there so that something like this doesn't happen again. For us, it's 5 minutes past midnight.
And now I'm convinced that after this election, many who have held back until now, family business owners, the middle class, will say, with this government, we can't expect anything anymore. We're leaving. I'm not just blaming the politicians in charge because every politician has a voter behind them. There must have been a voter who, and now we've seen it happen in Baden-Württemberg. Now I can only ask the voters, why are you destroying us? You're dragging all of us down, but above all, why are you destroying yourselves? Don't you realize what's going on?
No, they don't, because they believe the obvious lies of public broadcasting, take them seriously, and are afraid. If you were to vote for the alternative for Germany now, and I have to tell you very clearly, this country would be destroyed even further. Sure, there are some things that even I personally don't like, but one thing we can agree on is that they haven't lied to us, not from start to finish. That was always just the Christian Democratic Union, the Social Democratic Party, the Greens, not even the Left Party. That's the only thing I could say about them, except maybe Heidi Reichenegg, who drives a big Audi A8.
How do I steer a cruise ship through the icebergs? It's just madness. That means the Christian Democratic Union didn't even notice what was really bothering people. Myers came to the final rally in Ravensburg and rambled on. Trump and I were in the White House, and the war, people aren't interested in any of that anymore. They're fighting for their jobs, they're fighting to survive, they're fighting for the last pub that's still in the village, or a bakery or whatever else. That means the Christian Democratic Union had a big lead, which was 14 percentage points ahead of the Greens. That has faded, largely due to this top candidate's incompetence.
And now I'm personally going one step further. And now we're fighting here in Germany for our freedom. We're fighting here in Germany for a future the way we imagine it, the way we were actually able to enjoy it in recent years until 2019. We've entered a fight here where we know exactly that if we lose, there's only one solution left for us. And that is to leave Germany. Because it's simply no longer sustainable and because Germany will no longer be economically strong, Germany is going bankrupt.
The Social Democratic Party, that's not even a sect anymore. It's so small you can't even see it under a microscope. Yeah, so basically just barely over 5, but now we have the Greens, the Christian Democratic Union, and the Alternative for Germany. The Christian Democratic Union could say tomorrow that the country is number 1. We put party interests aside, we compare party programs and also possibilities. And that means the state of Baden-Württemberg can only be saved if this anti-democratic protective wall, and that's what I call it, I no longer call it a firewall, it's an anti-democratic protective wall. They want to undermine democracy. Democracy means that the majority in Baden-Württemberg voted conservative, in quotation marks, or at least wanted economic stability. Those are mostly Christian Democratic Union voters, but definitely Alternative for Germany voters. So the two could form a coalition against the Greens. I can only remind you again, many years ago, Helmut Kohl once got over 48% of the votes and still didn't become chancellor. Because the Social Democratic Party and Free Democratic Party joined forces.
And now in a few days, Rhineland-Palatinate is on the line, a huge net contributor to the state financial equalization system. In 2 years, Hesse will be next. If these state governments are once again black-green or black-red, then we can nail the coffin shut on Germany and say, now it's over. We can't keep this country going like this anymore because other states in Germany won't be able to get any more financial injections.
And about the top candidate, I can only say they acted as if he were Ulrich Siegmund from Baden-Württemberg, you know, that shining comet in Saxony-Anhalt. They're almost the same age, both family men, almost the same biography. It's really wonderful. But with Mr. Siegmund from the Alternative for Germany, you can tell he is passionate about the country and has ideas. He stands his ground and isn't intimidated, even with all the campaigns against him. And this Mr. Hegel is even too stupid to explain to elementary school children what global warming is, even though he claims to represent it. That means it really couldn't get any worse. With this young man, it became clear that the Christian Democratic Union really only has mediocrity to offer. And if you look at the whole lineup of the minister-presidents, also the federal government, the cabinet, it's actually an insult to mediocrity to call them mediocre.
You can find the full interview right here at the top, of course. And yes, I think nobody needs to say anything more about Ulrich Siegmund. He would be a prime minister I would really wish for Lower Saxony. However, he is also a federal candidate whom I would like to see as chancellor because he really leads the way. He comes, yes, and brings people along. What we urgently need here in Germany is a politician who says what he thinks, who is not afraid of repression. No matter how many obstacles are put in his way, no matter how many constitutional violations are committed, he follows his path and gives people here in Germany hope again for the first time. And there are only politicians. I would say there are a handful or maybe 2 handfuls of people I would trust to really turn this country around. No matter what happens, that we get a better future.